Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Angelica and I am from Sweden. And here's my dog. She wants to be a part of this too. This is not my first YouTube video, but it is my first video about art and the first video that I speak English. And sometimes I don't find the right words fast, or the grammar is not quite there, so I hope you will apologize some weird stuff that I might say, or yeah. So yeah, but this first video I plan to show you my paintings, some old and some new, so it's like a little bit of a timeline of what I have done, so you can see my art style. And I prefer to paint realism and flowers and animals mostly, like this little beauty. Yes, so let's start and see my paintings. So let's start with one of my older paintings. This is from 2006 when I was in school, and it's a rabbit that I had. As you can see, I did get the colors quite right, but I have no understanding of depth and layers, and that noise in the background, it's my dog. She wants to play right now. But yeah, so this is that, and then I have a horse from 2009, and I do believe 2009 was the year that I really started with painting. So, but on this you can see I wasn't good with the shadowing, and you see all the lines of the pens. Yeah. And this is an Angora rabbit, and it's made in acrylic, and this I did on wallpaper. I did quite a lot acrylic paintings on wallpaper, because we have had a lot of this old wallpaper at home, so it was cheap to do so. But yeah, this is not quite good either. It's great that I can laugh about them now. So yeah. And this one is in watercolor pencil, Derwent's. And yeah, also not quite good with layering. And a lotus flower in watercolor, and I do believe this is made of my White Nights, and at this time I couldn't really paint with watercolor. And this is also one with watercolor. Supposed to be a forest scene with some flowers. And this too, with a little being in a red hat. Here in Sweden we call this kind of creature for the same thing as we called Santa Claus. We call them tomte. And yeah, they have red hats and lives in woods and farms, and yeah. And this is made with, I do believe I used watercolor pencils Derwent here too. And another lotus flower made in acrylic on canvas. And for some reason I didn't paint the boards. I should do that now. I don't know, it's just been hanging on my wall and I haven't noticed. But here you can see that I did try some layering. So yeah, and I did the reflection in the water. But the water itself is not so good, but yeah. And this is dust too. Yeah, it's a golden retriever made with White Nights watercolors, and yeah, it's very, very ugly. So ugly. But it's fun to look at it this many years later and see how bad I was. So that I know now that I have developed my skills very, very good. And I do apologize for the dog in the background. Yeah, and from 2009 till 2012 I do believe I did paint some, and then I had like an art block for a very long time, and I didn't start to paint again until the beginning of 2018. And one of my first graphite drawing that year was this of me. So it was fun to start again with drawing and painting, and yeah. And I did start with watercolor and tried some tutorials. And this is of roses on Arches watercolor paper. I had quite a hard time when I started with watercolor, and I realized that the paper does a lot of difference, because I did develop my skills very fast from changing to a nice quality paper. Yeah, hope you can see that. And then in 2018 I started from a very bored dog. She's so bored, she wants to play. But yeah, I was in Inktober, my first time. And it's a challenge when you have to draw or paint 31 paintings in 31 days in October with ink. And I do believe my first year I did 10 or 12, and this is the one I'm most happy with, on black paper and with white and black ink. So this is very cool. And I also did this that I like very much, like an old door with a lock in black ink. And then I do believe it's the same month. I'm sorry, I have so hard time with that word, month. Yeah, now I can. But yeah, in October, Lisa at Lockery Fine Art did a live stream tutorial with this, like, don't know which bird it is, but yeah, with Halloween theme. And the moon behind. So this is my real first good acrylic painting, and I'm very pleased with it. She does a lot of nice work, Lisa. And I highly recommend to check out her channel if you haven't, because you will learn quite a lot with it. So yeah, and later that year I did this in watercolor and ink. I use a Sakura brush pen, which didn't work quite well on this paper, and I did destroy the pen after doing this. I do believe this is Arches cold pressed watercolor paper. So yeah, but it's quite a fun painting of my dog Tara that doesn't longer live. I have to put her away in December of last year, so yeah, but it's fun to have paintings of beloved animals. And in the beginning of 2019 I did this, and it took some time, but I was very happy with it at the time. And as you can see, I used some Finetec Coliro mica watercolors, so it gives quite a nice effect. And then it's a bit of a jump from that fish drawing that I did in May until Inktober, but I did some in between. But you know, if I would show you all of the paintings, we would be here forever. So yeah, this is my attempt of an illustration in ink, and yeah, I'm quite pleased with it, because I mostly try to do realism, so illustrations is quite hard for me to do, and just get to get some, you know, different things here and there. In illustrations it seems like it happens quite a lot, a little here and there, so I tried. And then I have this husky made with black ink and blue for the eyes. It took quite some time to do every pencil mark, but it's quite a fine results that I'm really pleased with. So yeah, it was worth the time. And another Inktober piece with some silver and gold ink from Winsor & Newton. And the ink that I have used for my Inktober paintings is of Royal Talens. I quite like their inks, and some Winsor & Newton also. But I think I just have a purple and yellow except from the silver and gold. And then I bought some Daniel Smith watercolor paintings and did create this. And this is the dog that you can hear in the background with her toys when she was a puppy last year. So this is one of my favorite paintings. I really like the result of it. So it was a good thing to spend some money on better quality watercolor paints. And then I did this. I do believe this is my last drawing I did in 2019 of a sheep and a lamb with some like illustration style. But yeah, And then we have one of the first painting for this year. And I have to change some of the lighting. It's getting too bright of the sun. So, yeah, of a landscape, a winter landscape. And I want to use the white of the paper when I need to have white in my paintings, watercolor paintings, but I'm not quite there yet, so I'm using white gouache from Winsor Newton. But yeah, it still gets a nice result. And then we have a moose laying down, and I did spend quite a lot of time on this, and I'm not really happy with the background. I do believe this is Arches cold press, and I have more difficulty to paint on that. So yeah. And then I did a watercolor painting on black paper, Stonehenge, black watercolor paper with Finetec Coliro mica watercolors. So that's why it's all shimmery. And this is also my dog, Vitra. So yeah, I'm not too pleased with this, and I didn't like the paper. It's too soft for me, but it's quite an effectful way to draw with gold. Different kinds of gold, also gold colors. So yeah. And then I have a cat, which is the first cat that I have ever painted. And for this I also had to use gouache for some details. But yeah. And an owl. And I do believe this is my first success with drawing an animal on Arches cold press. So yeah, but also with this I have to use white gouache for the white details, but yeah. Someday I will not use the gouache, hopefully. And speaking of white gouache, again some white gouache. And I used a Daniel Smith Primatech watercolor with some, it gives some granulation, so quite nice with some effects in the background. And then I have to show you the same painting painted, draw twice, one in 2009 and one in 2018. So this first you can see from 2009, and then you have the same painting 9 years later. So this is a fun thing to do if you want to see how you have developed your art skills. So yeah. And this is also my Norwegian elk hound, Tara, that who doesn't live anymore. But she was almost 12 years, so yeah. She was not so old, but yeah. So yeah, that's some of my paintings through the years. And I hope you would like to see how I have developed. And yeah, I will develop more, hopefully. So if you sometimes feel that your art is ugly and you don't get somewhere, you will, I promise you that. But the thing is, you might not notice your development if you don't have old paintings to compare to, because yeah, with this painting I have done this year, I don't see so much develop, but if I compare them to last year's drawing, I really see a development. So yeah, but yeah, I hope you have enjoyed seeing my paintings, and you will see more of my paintings in the future. I plan to do videos every week, hopefully, if not something happened. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching, and I see you next time. Bye.